As an extension educator, my prime concern is people. I believe it is my responsibility to give the best of my ability and develop myself to be an effective educator.
I accept the opportunity to empower individuals, families, and communities to meet their needs and goals through a learning partnership.
May I always be willing to accept the challenges of the changing times.
October, and it is just a walking challenge, just with the intent to get people outdoors kind of in the time of year where things tend to slow down. So we do it in October, and it's just a reminder that you can walk and be healthy any time of year.
So I really looked at all the different initiatives, I looked at handouts and new publications, and just really worked to design a kind of a live Pinterest board.
We talked about proper processing and food safety.
So I offered this class called The Perfect Turkey.
They were able to learn how to preserve food and cook recipes once the fruits and vegetables were grown within the garden.
So what we do is we take the research-based information from the university and we make it into everyday life hacks. So we're trying to reach new audiences in a creative way with the podcast.
I put it on Facebook, free sweep test, any senior citizen that wanted a bag. They took them immediately.
And sometimes I call those kind of things like bait and switch if you're talking to other agents, because they do come for the social part, and that's very important. I think sometimes we don't recognize the importance of that social component.
It brings them into the office, many of them for the very first time, and so they're like, oh, I'm here, and this is what I did, and it wasn't that intimidating that in my mind I thought it was, but it's not. So they do return for several more classes after that.
I've had several people who had come to the Cannon class that had not been to my office before that have now started to come to other programs.
We have a whole lot of repeat customers, so they actually really like what we do. We see a lot of family generational groups coming, so grandmas, daughters, granddaughters, and we see actually folks from outside of Kentucky. We've got some families that come in from Florida. We've got some groups that travel from other states to hang out with us, and we offer quality programming at a good price, and they can go back and teach. That's one of the things that we like to do, is teach our folks so that they can go back to their county and be able to teach the class that they learned or the quilt that they learned to others in their community.
So this is a really unique program because we have 8 counties that get together, and we also have an awesome Recovery Garden curriculum on our NEP page. So that kind of gave us the guidance on the direction to start and recipes to use once the produce was grown.
And I appreciate that about the calendar, because you can use the calendar as a guide but bring in additional information based on your program area, if that's FCS. But if you're a horticulture agent or you're interested in home gardening, you can bring in that information too. You really can cater your county program based on your expertise and your interests and use the calendar as a guide.
I was like, this is perfect, because there are certain topics that Family and Consumer Sciences covers that individuals don't feel really comfortable showing up for a class, either because there's stigma attached to it or they don't want people to think they're struggling in any kind of way. And so things like finances, mental health, parenting can be a little bit difficult for people to show up, or they're just busy. Life is busy and they're right in the thick of it. So it's topics that they can get information on in a way that they don't have to feel intimidated or embarrassed or ashamed. And we're sharing our life with them too, so they can see like everyone struggles with it. It's not just them.
I've found that a lot of people see that it's needed and are appreciative of these people who are willing to step up and try and address the issue of substance abuse in our county.
Because we are respected members in our communities and we have those partnerships built in, it's only natural that people come to Extension when they do need help after a disaster.
She came in, she was walking on a walker, and now she walks in independently. So I am super excited of the success she's been seeing.
I just love that this is a great program that has allowed our extension homemakers to be even more visible within the community. And I just love it. I'm so excited that we get to do it in our community.
And I think in today's world with increased stress, that mindfulness really helps us with all of our health.
It just turned out to be one of the most surprising and fun programs that I've ever got to be a part of. And what was really awesome was that it was predominantly men, which is kind of an underserved audience in FCS. So we saw a lot of people that we don't usually get into the extension office, which was really awesome.
And when you have everybody working together, it's not a big task for any one person, but you do have to get other people involved. And sometimes people don't realize, but you do have to go out and ask people if they'll help you.
Just work with your agents as best you can, because you never know what type of resource they share across county lines.
We have such valuable resources from our specialists, and to be able to utilize those, and they're there to call as well. It's a great time to be an extension right now, especially FCS Extension.